Smartphones are going to face a new challenge in 2017, being recognizable. It's something I'm just starting to catch up on, because though I realize we don't know it at this moment exactly what the iPhone 8 looks like, I can tell you a lot about what it probably will look like. We know it's probably going to have a curved display on the edges, Samsung providing that display, so expect the kind of display you see on the S7 on the iPhone 8, and that it'll be OLED, and that there's no home button, which means the chin and the top forehead, they're going to be a lot thinner than usual, and to round things off, we might have rounded edges, as many concept images show that, and that's something Apple implements into a lot of their operating systems, so it would make sense that they would go through with that. Remind you of any other designs out there? Any at all? I'm thinking of two already, and it's only March. We got the LG G6, it came out, adapting a 2:1 aspect ratio. No curved edges, but rounded off corners. And of course, no home button on the chin, but LG never had that to begin with. So we got thinner bezels all the way around, and of course, Samsung is leaking the S8 like they don't even care anymore. They just want you to see it now. S8's all over the place, and it's got rounded corners and the curved edges, of course. No physical home button, all of that being moved onto the display in favor of a thinner chin and thinner forehead, which, is anyone else realizing what everyone's doing? This is the year we're killing off the home button. Since phones are doing so much stuff now, the only way for companies to sway our opinion is really coming down to how cool it looks, which is sad, but unfortunately it's kind of true. Apple has always put design in favor of a lot of functionality, which a lot of people always made fun of them for, but how many tech companies have stayed that current and that modern for this long? Of course, Apple's had ups and downs, Microsoft has had too, but you can't deny that Microsoft's more recent success is because they started designing the software and hardware to work together. So we don't have the right to discredit how cool something is and how that can actually help it sell, which all these companies, they need their products to sell so that they can use the profits they make off of that to actually work on more functional features that may not be possible right now. But if their R&D departments gets more time, and of course all this consumer money, they'll be able to research and create some truly innovative things that are yet to be seen. But yeah, I think when the iPhone 8 comes out, we're gonna have a bit of a problem. Gonna have that iPhone 8 next to the Galaxy S8, and if you got the black models on both sides with the screens off, yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard to tell which is which. We got glass on the back because all of our companies want wireless charging, even LG. Apple, of course, wants that. Galaxy S8, of course, is gonna have that. And on the front, we want that edge-to-edge display with a narrow chin and forehead. So now the real question is, how are people gonna decide what phone they want to buy if at first glance, hardware-wise, we're all kind of becoming the same? To me, this points to the fact that software is the true definer of a phone. A lot of times on this channel, people are always asking me to review other Android phones, the OnePlus 3T, Huawei phones, Oppo phones. Find a way to get the me mix because it has no forehead. That makes it cool. But at the end of the day, at all of my tech reviews, including the Google Pixels, which is coming soon, I always point out that hardware is really 20 to 10% of the experience. Especially nowadays when all these companies are working really hard to basically achieve the same hardware. Of course, we can break down our cameras to see which one gets lighting just right, but at first glance, no one's really gonna care. Battery life may be a couple hours longer on this phone, but for the most part, our batteries are gonna last us all day. There's not one phone with a 4 times better battery life, and there's less and less phones that have removable batteries. And we've all got fingerprint readers now. Mainly all our flagships are getting waterproofing. And some phones have 2K displays and some phones have 1080p, but when you hold them up, no one can really tell. Unless you're looking for it, and personally in my experience, even when I am looking for it, I cannot tell. That's why for the future of smartphones, optimization of hardware and software is going to be the key factor of what phone people buy. And keep in mind, just because you design the hardware and software doesn't mean it's good. One company in particular is proving that. It has to be thought out so that everything feels natural and not messy. And from the leaked S8 images we're seeing, it feels like Samsung's taking some new risks with Android, with their own skin put on top of it, which honestly, I know a lot of people don't like, but I prefer Samsung's skin to stock Android, which I've been using for a while now, and it's driving me nuts. So what are your thoughts on all smartphones kind of all playing by the same rules and all kind of becoming the same, and having everything boiled down to software? Let me know in the comments below. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.